At 23 years old, I made $350,000. The year before that, I made about $35,000. So a huge jump in income, huge.
Right.
But at that $350,000, I was more unfulfilled than ever. You know, it wasn't because I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. It wasn't any of these things. It was because I really didn't, at a very deep level in my heart of hearts, believe in the messages of my clients. And my heart of hearts, in my mind, in my ego, I was working with some of the biggest, most well-known spiritual leaders till this day. But in my heart of hearts, I knew something was missing and I didn't even know what it was. And it was really that masculine component to spirituality. It was learning that, look, just because you don't feel good doesn't mean you throw your hands up. Like, you keep going, and that's where discipline comes in. But a lot of these spiritual teachers I had, they gave me a really good look into the feminine aspect of life. Like, they taught me how to get into my heart energetically. They taught me how to let go of some limiting beliefs and whatnot. But they didn't really teach me how to sustain and drive my hunger. They didn't teach me the masculine side of like how to be strong, how to protect yourself, how to provide. It was very much like more of a selfish
how to
nature.
set boundaries. Yeah, it's almost like it becomes like a pacifist.
Exactly.
In a way where it's
like I'm attracting everything. It all comes to me.
But in a lot of ways, it's like, no, dude, you're just avoiding conflict. Because when people are like, oh, I don't ever get into that negative energy, I'm like, okay, I don't want negative energy either. But when someone's stepping on your face, you've got to take their foot off your damn face.
And that's the big thing that I didn't like about the new age spirituality. And there's a lot of things I don't like about it. But there was no principle. There was no father. All the energy was feminine. There was no masculine father. Like Jesus, man. Like I love Christianity, but Jesus was a badass.
Yeah, he made a whip.
Dude, he was a badass, man.
When he got pissed, he got pissed.
And I think that's important to know, that every saint can be a sinner as well. And when I say sinner, it's not to do harm, it's to be able to do harm. Just be capable. Jesus was capable of harm. Strong people are capable of destruction. And peaceful people are also capable of destruction, but they're only peaceful if they're capable of destruction. If they're not capable of destruction, they're just weak. Think about it. Fighting makes you strong, but you don't join a martial arts because you want to fight. You join a martial arts because one day you might have to.
Bullies.
Yeah.
That are like to protect her. It's like if Jesus was upset and using it, it was not against the people that were, it was no. It was like, no, this high priest is coming in and belittling everyone and about to stone this lady. This is a murderous,
this is wrong.
A bully.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand up to them.
Yep.
And that's the difference. Jordan Peterson says it perfect.
He does.
When he talks about being meek.
Yeah.
People think one side of spirituality will say you should be meek, which I agree, but they misinterpret meekness and humbleness with, he defines it as meekness is just like you said, you're trained with to use a sword. You've got it, but you know you're a badass. You know you could kick and take someone's head off if you need to, but you keep it sheathed and you don't need to take it out.
Exactly.
But you know you can.
And you may have to.
But you're meek. But you'll never use it to bully people.
No. I think if good men don't stand up against evil, evil always wins.
100%.
That's how I see it. 100%. And that's why I'm getting louder and louder on my public social media about this, because...
And it doesn't mean going out and just picking fights.
That's not what it is at all.
Yeah.
It's actually the opposite. It's calling out the bullshit.
Yeah.
Because if you don't call out the bullshit, you're just as big as a part of the problem. That's how I see it.
It's so true.
You got to be as innocent as a dove, but as wise as a serpent.
Right.
Serpents are capable of evil, but the dove, in the Bible sense, it's a reflection of the heart.
Yeah.
And the darkness, so to speak, or the serpent, the wisdom, the evilness, or the capable of evilness, protect the dove. Because you can't just be naive. Otherwise, you'll be taken advantage of.
Right.
And this is exactly what happened.
You got to merge them together.
I'm around all these spiritual people. I think they're such good people, so I'm naive as hell. I'm the innocent dove. And what did that do? Dude, I got so taken advantage of, man. I have, not to play the victim card, but
a lot of them are really passive.
Passive
aggressive is the second word thing. Is aggressive.
An incredibly
passive aggressive is a form of aggression.
It is.
It's just not physical. It's still aggression.
It is. And a lot of those men I found, again,
I'd rather
a
be
lot of
punched
them are
in the face than like
the mind fuck is worse than the physical beatings in my
Yeah.
opinion. I've had both, and the mind stuff is way worse.
Yeah.
manipulation, I'm very sensitive to it because I've been very manipulated, and I've seen many people I love who are very kind and have good hearts also be manipulated, and that breaks my heart, man. So that's kind of why I steered away from that industry entirely, kind of developed my own faith in my own connection with God instead of like finding it through another man or woman. Like, so I kind of just realized I had to go on my own journey of like discovering what my masculinity is. Also, my girlfriend who I thought I was going to marry cheated on me, and there was a lot of stuff like that happening in my life. People were taking advantage of me, clients trying to sue me for shit I never did. Like, dude, it was insane. And it was all these themes pointing to the same thing. You're not capable. You're not capable. You're not capable of destruction. You're naive, man. And it was just like I kept getting punched in the face until one day I woke up and said, holy shit, I'm naive. Some people aren't good people. And that was so hard for me to believe.
That fake energy would tell you, well, if this happened to you, that's just the way. That's just
how it's supposed to be. Exactly.
And it's like,
no, you got to do something about it.
Wrong is wrong.
Exactly.
It's like, no.
If good men don't stand up against evil, evil triumphs.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, man.
Yeah.
That is a fact of life.
So true.
So yeah, that's why I'm very loud with this stuff more than ever, because I'm seeing it, man. Get into it. The families are being ripped apart because men are being taught. Men are feeling like they're the fucking devil because society is making them feel that way. Not to play the victim card for men, but society is making them so soft, and they're listening to society, and they're taking the wrong formula for their own masculinity. So they're staying these man children where they're 50-year-olds. It makes them depressed. It makes them anxious. They have no center, man. They're like blow with the wind. Yeah. And then what's happening? Because of that, because of all the soft, weak men, all the women are like, well, we can't trust these men. So what do? They become more masculine. Then what does that do? It pulls them away from their femininity. What does that do? It makes them not want to be a mom. It makes them want to be a boss bitch and build a business. Nothing wrong with a woman building a business.
Right.
The issue,
if you're totally wired that.
If you're wired that way, that's the key.
Some men like my good friend, his dream literally is to be a stay-at-home dad. He's totally wired. The mom, totally wired, business mind.
Right. So she has a more masculine
beautifully
core, and he's a little bit more feminine.
But it wasn't because
which is fine.
It wasn't because society told them.
And that's the key point.
That's the difference.
That's the key point.
Be you.
Be you.
I'm all about you being you.
But you don't beyond the programming from society.
Anyone tell you what you are. Don't let me tell you. Don't let
no one.
Be you. Don't let your spiritual learn things that help you be a better version of you.
1000%.
But this crap where it's like, I always hated anyone. I'm a Christian, and half the church drives me insane because anytime someone tries to put me too much in a box, I'm like, dude, Jesus didn't even go to church, so leave me alone. Like, I'm going to learn, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Right. I'm going to help
Going
people.
to church doesn't make you holy.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of benefits if you find a good church too.
Same.
But
completely agree.
It's when people try to tell you how to exactly what, and then when they try to do it to a whole group of society, it's horrible.
I'm not advocating for this because I think it's a theory. I'm advocating for this because I know it's a fact, because I went through it being a weak man, and how that destroyed my relationships, destroyed my business, destroyed my health, my happiness. So I went down that path, and because I went down that path, now I meet so many other men on that exact path I was on. So I'm realizing this is like an epidemic, man. And it's the same end on the women's side as well.
Right.
Because in my coaching business, a lot of women tend to be attracted to it, but the women are also high achievers, so they have a lot of masculine energy developed, and that's great. Some of them are massively successful, and they love that, but
a lot of them are following what they're being told, and it's making them miserable.
Exactly. They have a poor relationship with masculine energy, so they overcompensate in their own life to gain the energy of the masculine energy, but they're gaining it in themselves instead of getting it from an outside force, another man. So then they're deeply unfulfilled. Some of these women, they all tell me the same thing.
Well, it breaks families up. It breaks people. There's a lady I'd love to have her on the show. I've seen her on Patrick Bet David before speaking. She's someone that speaks a lot on like the flip side of what we're talking about for women.
Yeah.
And where she's like, this whole boss bitch said everyone's supposed to be a bitch. Like, no, you're not. Again, if you're wired that way, cool. Like, do you, but still be a good person. But she's like, no, like, your man needs. I'm not saying my wife needs to come and cook and clean and do a lot, but you. Here's what I say.
Usually she'll
you're the
want
king,
to. She's
you're the
in that
king.
Exactly.
But the king doesn't mean you're a dictator.
No.
Your wife is a queen.
A king makes harmony.
A king treats his wife like a queen.
Exactly.
That means you respect her like a queen.
100%.
But the queen needs to respect the man as a king.
Exactly.
And it doesn't mean that you come in like a dictator and you're like, because I'm the man, it's blah, blah, blah. But the man is the king if he respects also the women as the queen.
Exactly. It's just a different role. The man and women have
two different job
roles,
descriptions.
And it doesn't, when I say that, people think, oh, I'm saying men are better than women. No, not at all. It's
no.
It's not,
It's not
at all.
even about better
We're
or worse.
equal, just in a different way.
Totally.
Both of our roles are totally necessary for a family unit and for society at large. You need both. But the problem is the gender roles are flipping. And men who are truly masculine at their core are becoming more feminine, and women who are truly feminine at their core are becoming more masculine.